Hi Aquarius couples, welcome to your love reading for the last 2 weeks in October 2017. So this is a reading for those of you who are actually in a couple. I'm doing the readings, the Gypsy Tarot Love Spreads, one for singles and one for couples. And this is for you guys who are actually in a relationship with someone at the moment. Or you're kind of in a relationship, I suppose, with somebody at the moment, okay? You also have, if you're single, hop over to the single reading. You're in between a relationship, you can look at both, it's up to you. But you also have a general reading for the last 2 weeks. So we're going to shuffle on the cards. I'm using my Witch's Tarot, Romance Angels for advice at the end of the reading. And if I need any clarification on the reading, we've got the miniature Rider-Waite deck. Okay? Right, let's make a start then. So, Universe Spirit, what is the advice or what are the energies you see around Aquarius people who are actually in relationships? What is the energies that you see for them in the last 2 weeks of October 2017? What are the energies that you see for Aquarians who are in a couple? What are the energies that you see coming in for Aquarians who are actually in a relationship with someone in the last 2 weeks of October 2017? So from the 16th through to the 31st of October, what is the advice, what is the energies that you can see? All I want to focus on is their love lives in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread. What is it that you see coming in for coupled up people who are in relationships, Aquarius, Sun and Rising signs, Aquarius, Sun and Rising signs, for those who are actually in coupled relationships for the last 2 weeks between the 16th and the 31st of October 2017, show me. Alright, we're going to split the deck into three. 1, 2, 3. Collect it back up and we're going to start to lay down the cards. So, 1, 2, 3. And I'm doing this the usual way that I would have done it in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's move this along a little bit so that we have it kind of central on the screen. I'm always having to do this because I never know how it's going to, whether it's going to be too much to the right, too much to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so, and what I tend to do as well is pick 3 cards from the bottom of the deck just to give you the general energies around the reading. So I think that you guys are finding it hard to release the situation. It's causing a lot of burdens around you because I think that somebody's either not paying you enough attention or they're lacking any type of emotional, it's not that they're not, I mean, if you're in a couple, it's not that the person, 4 of Cups is showing disinterest. And the Hangman is in the reverse, which means that there's inability to release the situation. In the upright, this is about surrendering to it. Surrendering to the elements and just kind of going with the flow. The Hangman in the reverse represents feeling very awkward and the inability to really let go. And also to see what the truth is, because there's a sense of not seeing, being enlightened about the situation. So I think that there is, the energies around you are about the inability to let go or surrender a situation. And I think it's causing a lot of burdens, okay? Because it might be a water sign, could be a Cancerian around you. 4 of Cups represents a Cancerian energy, but just a water sign in general it might be. But it's also just somebody who's showing a lack of interest, or they're not giving you the love, or they're not reciprocating, or they're not reciprocal to whatever it is that you're offering at the moment in this relationship, Aquarius. The mental and emotional, the situation is the 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords does represent when you can see what the truth of the matter is, Aquarius, okay? But you don't have the skills or the experience or the foresight of how you're going to move out of that. So this represents somebody who's feeling trapped. So I'm sensing here that there are very limiting energies going on, especially mental, also emotional, but literally in how you handle the situation, being the situation with the 8 of Swords. Around that mentally and emotionally, the Four of Wands. You're feeling very unstable, especially some of you guys perhaps within the home, because the Four of Wands is all about the home, and I think that this is making you feel emotionally and mentally unstable. So I think that this is possibly this other person showing here. It might be an air sign individual, and the reason for that is because of the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords says, well, do I move on, or do I give distance to this? Do I create distance? I think that there's instability mentally and emotionally, possibly, and because we've got two sword cards as well, this could be an air sign individual, but I think that this person might be, I think that you're feeling unstable because this person's quite distant from you with this Six of Swords showing here. Around the present situation, we've got the Empress in the reverse. So the Empress in the reverse is all about somebody who's not very maternal. They're not very nurturing. It also represents a relationship. For me, when I look at this card, it represents one-sidedness. In the reverse, it's almost like one person feels that attraction and the other person doesn't. The Empress in the reverse also represents unhealthy relationships, or relationships that are actually dying. So there's no kind of prosperity or growth within that relationship. So I think that the situation might be around the lack of growth within a relationship if you're in a coupled relationship, and around that energy we've got in the present the Ten of Cups. So there's a lot of unhappiness. Some of you guys might be trying to be happy in the relationship, but there is unhappiness here. And there's also, when you get the Ten of Cups in the reverse, things like quarrels or things like arguments happening within the home. But there's certainly something here that is showing a lack of emotional fulfillment within this relationship. And what's the reason for that? Well, it might be that this person with the Nine of Cups energy is looking at others, because the Nine of Cups is about emotional satisfaction. But also, when you look at this card here, this person is kind of getting satisfaction from, and it can't be from you, because this is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is in the upright, and the Nine of Cups should mean success, and it should mean achievement, and it means sexual satisfaction and enjoyment. And I feel that if the relationship with the situation is faltering with that Empress card in the reverse as the situation, and around that in the present you're experiencing emotional unfulfillment because of those energies, it must be because the other person's getting their satisfaction somewhere else, potentially, with that Nine of Cups energy showing there. Around your hopes, the situation is the Hermit in the reverse. So the Hermit in the reverse represents somebody who's hurting a great deal on love. And what they're doing is they're becoming quite upset, quite negative. They're completely drawing back. So this is about also somebody who's completely withdrawn, 100% withdrawn on the situation here. And what's the hopes around that? Well, the hopes are that this would be, well, it would resolve itself, possibly with the World card in the best possible way, or there is a conclusion that is drawn to this energy. I think that you guys want someone to be a lot more loving and tentative, and you want the ending of a cycle of somebody who's I think that this is the person here. I think that we're possibly looking at an air sign or a Virgo person. So it could be a Virgo person, an air sign, or possibly Cancerian stroke water sign person showing here. What's the reason for the World card for your hopes? Because of the Page of Wands. What you want to do is you want to inject some fun into the relationship again. You want this person to tell you nice things. You want this person to show enthusiasm again, because the Page of Wands shows somebody who's enthusiastic, they're excited to do new things. It shows a couple who are, you know, being together and doing things together, for example, sharing interests, that type of thing. You know, if your interest is to go to bookshops, the Page of Wands would show up as for the couple having a lot of fun together, enthusiasm together, excitement together, a lot of exhilarated times together, and you want the exhilaration back in the relationship. But I think that this person's completely withdrawn as a situation, and your hopes are that there will be an ending to this with the World energy showing around that, because what you wanted to inject a bit more fun into the relationship with that Page of Wands. Around your expectation, the situation is about the Queen of Pentacles, Aquarius. So the Queen of Pentacles could be another person, especially if it's got anything to do with that Nine of Cups. Could be a third party situation potentially, or it could simply be with the Queen of Pentacles. The situation is about the home, and it's about nurturing the home and nurturing the relationship, cooking together, you know, having a great sex life together, being just generally happy, warm and comfortable within the home with that Queen of Pentacles. Around that your expectations are, well, the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So it might be another person in which you're expecting for this individual here who's quite distant from you, Aquarius, to confess to something, because the Seven of Swords is all about a confession. The Seven of Swords in the reverse is all about when somebody is owning up. They're holding their hands up to a situation and saying that, well, this is what's been going on. And what's the reason for that? Because of the Emperor. Okay, so basically you guys are wanting to rebuild this relationship. You're wanting the relationship to start to feel more stable and some more secure again with this Emperor energy. But it could also be that you want a confession from this person, and I think it might be around another individual, because this person's been very distant with you. The Emperor shows distant energies as well. When you get the Emperor, it shows somebody who is... Emperors are very difficult in terms of love, because they can be somebody who is very protective as an individual, but at the same time this can be somebody who is very drawn back as well. They're almost like sometimes a little bit, not too much, but a little bit like that Hermit in reverse. What is the hidden factors that you're not seeing? Well, the Knight of Swords is the situation here, Aquarius. The Knight of Swords represents either a Gemini, top tier Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it's not you. But the Knight of Swords is also somebody who's in pursuit of something here around that. What is it that you're not seeing that they're pursuing of? Eight of Wands. So what you might not be seeing is that person is in pursuit of something, being the situation. Around that, what you're not seeing is the Eight of Wands. This person might be communicating with someone. And what's the communication about? Well, yeah, it's about passion. So it might be for some of you guys, if you're having problems within a relationship, this person might be communicating with someone. It might be because they've started a new relationship, or there's an attraction to somebody else with this Ace of Wands energy. What's coming up in the immediate future for you guys? So the situation is about the Three of Cups. It could be third-party situations or reconciliations. Around that, what's coming in around that Three of Cups is the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the reverse often shows somebody who is bored, or they're lacking enthusiasm. So the situation, I think, is more about reconciliation here with this Three of Cups showing us the situation. But I don't feel that this person will be wanting to do that. They're not in hot pursuit to do that at all with that Knight of Wands in the reverse. And what's the reason for that? Possibly because they've had victory in conquering something else along these lines here. And what's the overall outcome? Well, you've got the Two of Pentacles, unstable energies within the relationship, somebody who's weighing up two relationships potentially. What's coming in around that overall? Well, it's interesting, the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is all about the family and the home. So this should be you guys. So around that, I'm seeing that the situation is about instability, and it will be around your home with that Ten of Pentacles. And what's the reason for that? Because of the Eight of Cups. Might be some of you guys want to walk away from the situation. It might be because still this person is being very, very distant with that Eight of Cups energy. Let's get this reading again. Around you guys, you've got the situation being the Hanged Man in the reverse. So it's the inability to release a situation, to surrender to it. It's a very awkward situation within your relationships if you're in a couple. I think it's adding a lot of pressure to the relationship with that Ten of Wands, because somebody, and it's this person here, okay, is not showing you love, and they're not being receptive to you with that Four of Cups showing here. The mental and emotional shows this person. I believe that this person is the Eight of Swords. They might be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individual, an air sign individual. And this person is not being receptive to you. They're holding back. They're being very cold, I would say, probably with this Eight of Swords showing here as a situation. Around that, mentally and emotionally, how are you dealing with that? Well, you're starting to feel very unstable mentally and emotionally, especially if you live with your partner, you're feeling these energies in the home. And that's because I think with the Six of Swords, this person has their mind on other areas. This person's very distant from you mentally and emotionally. Around the present situation, well, the situation is the Empress in the reverse. So I feel that this person is very detached from you. I feel with the Empress in the reverse, this is making the relationship very unbalanced. I feel that in the reverse, this Empress is saying that the relationship is really on unhealthy ground at the moment. And around that, the present situation is showing that the relationship is very unstable, especially on an emotional level with the Ten of Cups. You're trying to put a smile on your face, but it's not really working. And why is that? Because of the Nine of Cups. I think that this is somebody here with the Nine of Cups, that they might be invested in other things. They might be getting their satisfaction elsewhere with that Nine of Cups in the upright. We've got the Hermit as being around your hopes. Well, the Hermit, this person here is the Hermit. The person here who's holding back on you with that Eight of Swords because they're very distant and they've got their mind on other areas with that Six of Swords. They're probably completely withdrawn from you with this Hermit energy showing here. And around that, your hopes would be that there would be a change with the world energy, because what you want to do is inject some passion and fun back into the relationship with the Page of Wands energy. However, in your expectations, well, the situation is around a Queen of Pentacles. And I think that this is another person, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, male or female here, doesn't have to be. I would say that this is another person, Aquarius. Around that, you're expecting to have a confession about this individual here, because this person here, here, and here is the Emperor. They're being very, very restrained around you, but also what you want to do is try and rebuild those blocks again within the relationship. What you're not seeing is that this person here, here, and here, and here is in pursuit of something. The situation is showing somebody who's in pursuit of something here. What they're doing is they're not exactly acting recklessly, but they're going with their passions with this Knight of Swords. Also, this is about information that's being sent. Usually when you get the Knight of Swords, it represents either changes in situations, incoming, outgoing situations, or it can represent news, communication. It can also represent when there's abuse within relationships. But I would say that this is about somebody who's in pursuit of something with this situation. Around that, what you can't see is that this person's possibly sending lots of messages and they're communicating. Why are they communicating? It might be because they're attracted to somebody new with the Ace of Wands. Coming in the immediate future, well, the situation is all about partnerships and agreements and reconciliations between you and this individual, in which this person possibly will not be showing any interest with that Knight of Wands in the reverse. I explain the Knight of Wands in the reverse as somebody who lacks passion and lacks any enthusiasm to do something here, possibly because they've already had their conquest. They're seeing victory with another individual, potentially for some of you guys, and the outcome is imbalance within the relationship, the Two of Pentacles. That's the situation, and it's around the home, the stability in your relationship. So I'm seeing instability in your relationship here, because this person is either looking to walk away, you're looking to walk away, or with the Eight of Cups energy, the person is still being very emotionally distant. Let's have a look at what the cards are saying for you, Aquarius. You coupled up, Aquarius. What's the advice? What's the advice that you have for Aquarians who are in a couple? What is the advice that you have for Aquarians who are actually in a couple? Show me. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. That's very interesting. It's almost like the soulmate card. Why is this the romance of a lifetime for Aquarians? Why is this the romance of a lifetime for Aquarians? Because you need to let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. So there might still be leverage in whatever this relationship is, because it is saying that this is still the romance of a lifetime, but you need to probably get some outside advice on what it is that you need to do within this situation. Because I think that, you know, around your, your expectations, well, the situation is about a Queen of Pentacles, and you guys are expecting somebody to confess to somebody else here, because they're being very distant with that Emperor card, and also you want to start rebuilding things with this individual. And yes, this person doesn't show to me, whoever this person is, Aquarius, as being, as coming back into the fold, as showing warmth again in the relationship. But it's still saying that this is the true love, this is the relationship that you've got at the moment, is the relationship of a lifetime, and you need to get some outside information on what it is that you need to do. So for some of you guys, it might be if you're in a marriage, you need to go to marriage counselling, that type of thing. But really it starts, I feel, with getting the truth from this individual and seeing where you can go from there. Alright, that's your reading for you coupled up Aquarians. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I'll speak to you guys on your generals. Take care.